and I do what I can to get back to you as quickly as I can. But you write it down, you have it, and because we're going to talk about some ticket giveaways, and also want to remind you about signing up and being ready to go on the bus trip. That's right, we're going to go to New York for the National Action Network 2024 National Conference. It's going to be at the Sheraton, New York Times Square Hotel, and that's going to be on Friday, April the 12th. Friday, April the 12th. Now, the round trip ticket is $30. Now, I should tell you right now, we have a bus of 52, and right now we're up to about 30. So I want you to call and make your reservation, and you can call to make a reservation to go to New York City, round trip. Leave on Friday the 12th, early in the morning, and come back evening about 10. It'd be about a 18-hour trip. But for $30 round trip, go to New York, be a part of a national conference with all the major important folk, including yourself that's going to be there. Make your reservation. And here's the number for you to call to make your reservation. 667-910-1027. 667-910-1027. That's the number for you to make a reservation to get your bus seat to go to New York with us on Friday, April the 12th. Save the date, but make your reservation today as people are calling to want to go. It will be a fantastic trip, 18 hours, but it's going to be worthwhile. You're going to want to sign up right there on the spot to go next year. So come on, make your call, 667-910-1027. All right? Good. Okay. Let's go pick up. Big E's already in place, so let's go and pick up Mr. Mark C.
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing, guys?
Good morning, good man. So you got a lot on your plate, sir. I know that.
It's a lot. It's a lot, man. And I know you and Big E done heard about the Ravens.
And we're going to talk about that. You will talk
when
about
y'all
that.
get into that. But look, you were we know now that we're going to be it's going to be a rematch with
Trump.
Donald Trump. Poor excuse for a man behavior, Donald Trump, and
Biden.
And Biden. So both of them Clint's. But I had seen this article, Big Brother, that I was sharing with you about John Fetterman express his disgust with Senate colleagues for letting, as he called him, a sleazeball, Menendez, still be there. And
now Menendez is the senator from New Jersey,
right? And I'm gonna ask you this, because he has, Menendez stay amid foreign bribery scandal, and but let me ask you this as a senator, Larry, things like that. Do you think right now, if we had some concerns and stuff like that, do you think that should have been in-house? And do you think Menendez should be let down from the committees and all that kind of stuff, which is normally, they say, the protocol for when you under indictment for that type of thing?
Based on what I understand the situation to be, I can understand why the chairmanship position was removed from him. But other than that, until he's found guilty, and he's expressing the fact that he's innocent, he should be able to remain as a senator. And of course, once he's found guilty, then that's on a whole new ball game. But until that's the case, no. I think I can understand the chairmanship loss, moving him off of the chairmanship. But in terms of being a United States senator, not until he has made an opportunity to go in front of the courts and to see what happens then. So I disagree with the senator from Pennsylvania at this point.
Yeah, I'm glad. See, that's Big E. That's why I'm so glad we got Senator Larry Young on.
Break it down for you, huh?
Just broke that down and cleared it up.
Break it down.
But yeah, but Larry in Baltimore, man, my finger is tired from sending
Mm.
from sending you stuff, but it's so much stuff going on. But and I'm just gonna say these. But Larry, two things. One thing that we definitely got to talk about, man. The head of the firemen's union calling former Sheila Dixon a mutt.
Let's do that right now.
Man.
Let's do that right now. We should talk about it, and I think that the guy should apologize. But from what I'm hearing, he's staying on point.
Let me share this a little bit, Larry. Baltimore mayor candidate Sheila Dixon is responding to an email laced with what she calls the derogatory word aimed at her in that email written by the leader of the city's fire officers union. Dixon is referred to as a mutt of a past mayor. The matter surfaced as Baltimore firefighters met Monday to endorse Mayor Brandon Scott. Union leaders did not hold back from criticizing Dixon, Scott's rival. Sorry about that. One candidate on the ballot was mayor previously for almost a full term before resigning due to criminal conviction for perjury and embezzlement, said Joshua Fannin, president of Local 964, the city's fire officers union. In fact, before the announcement Monday, there was an email Friday. Fannin sent an email to Baltimore County's fire union president, John Sibiga, who shared it with his members. The email was obtained by the news. In that email, Fannin invited members of the Baltimore County Firefighters Union to Monday's event. The email reads in part, the Baltimore locals are engaged in an epic struggle this election year 2024 between a fire department friendly incumbent and a mutt of a past mayor. Dixon was referred to as a mutt. The word triggered a reaction for some county fire members, including one member, a veteran who wants to remain anonymous but spoke to the news in a phone interview. As a black woman, I was floored that my Baltimore County local union set out something so offensive, said the firefighter who said she's been with the department for several years. As a woman, first of all, a mutt is an undesirable dog. It's offensive in general to call a black woman an undesirable word in a sense. And part of Dixon's response was, she said, as the first African-American woman council member, and as the first woman mayor, she said she's heard things, all of her career, but she said this, she said this is, it really, it's really, what's the word? Well, it shouldn't have never happened, but we had the black guys come out from what's the place over, Larry, over on Drew Hill Park Drive, the Falcon Blaze.
Falcon Blazers.
Yeah, the brother. He said that they had to go to the county because he said the Baltimore leadership wasn't in tune with who they wanted to endorse. Now, and I know, again, it ain't about Mayor Brandon Scott. It's about the office of the mayor. And we know that you had firefighters come out and say that they wasn't getting any of the ARPA funding and they was low on fire trucks and all this kind of stuff. We had firemen died, abandoned houses that were supposed to be had X's and stuff on them, all that kind of stuff. But they were low on medics. One a guy called the medic, and there was no trucks available, and this type of stuff. Then all of a sudden, the white guy on there two-stepping saying, and I seen it on the news. So the news was like, well, you was critical before, saying y'all wasn't getting money, this, that, and the other. And then he gonna come out with this lame excuse, and Larry, more than I do, that this don't even sound right, smell right, sound right. He said, Well, it was a miscommunication because we didn't know the money was in the pipeline. Come on, man. Larry, what you got to say about this, brother?
Well, as I stated, I think that the statement was foul. The gentleman should pull it back. He should apologize, and it's gonna sting the Scott campaign rather than being an asset to him. I think.
And the news, they were talking to Reverend P.M. Smith this morning on the subject, and they said, "Do you think that the current mayor, is going to come out and disavow it?" And he said no. And let me say this: a lot of people don't realize this. Pastor P.M. Smith was a defense attorney for 10 years before he became a pastor. And why that's important? Because he's been in Annapolis with this current state's attorney, lobbying for better laws, concerning our young scholars, as my man say. I like that. Corey McCray, he called them our young scholars. But he said we need better laws. Corey McCray said that we need better laws and stuff like that. And Schiraldi, he said, hasn't been receptive to him.
Okay. Wow. Well, I think the public is aroused on how this gentleman has made this foul statement, and I think the mayor is going to. I don't have no idea, but I suspect he will be making the comments pretty soon.
Well, I'm sure, because of the pushback, but you gotta come right out and disavow. This is, again, to me, Larry, and it's not just this. What's the lady, Linda Batts, man, on these ridiculous bike lanes and stuff like that. They was in the hearing the other day, and Tyrone Bose and them, I know they be listening, but the white guy that was a supporter of Bikemore, he was behind Ms. Batts, calling her derogatory names in the hearing with the city council president, Ms. Middleton, and other folk there. And she said on Patrick Henderson show that she was sitting right next to Bilal Ali, who's running for council. And he said absolutely nothing. And Larry, that's not even the tip of the iceberg. The guy, she said he was threatening her, calling her bees and all that kind of stuff, right in the hearing.
At the hearing.
At the hearing. So Tyrone Bose and them, when the guy left out, Tyrone Bose and them, they had called security, and they wouldn't let him on the elevator. And they said somebody, and Tyrone, I hope Tyrone will call and put some meat on his bone, and the other guy put some meat on this bone, because they wound up somebody from the mayor's office. They said, Tyrone them said, came and escorted this white guy out of a different door or something. And those two, Tyrone Bose and the other guy that was helping, wind up getting thrown out. And Tyrone Bose chased the guy for about 2 blocks. And you can't make this up.
Gee. Okay. As I say, you got your ears to the ground, man. This is the first I've heard of this. The very first. There you go. Whoa. Made those kind of comments in a public hearing with all those folks around, and no one said a word.
No one said a word. And I was at Connections yesterday, because we know also Connection School, where the Muslim brothers and sisters had the family event a few weeks ago. A young lady was on the way to school. Not only was she robbed, middle school student, not only was she robbed, but Connections on Dukeland, 2801, I believe. And not only was she robbed, Big E, but the guy had to pull her shirt up and pull her pants down.
No.
So Monday when we was in
No. Come on, Mark.
Yes. And Captain Andrew, we was in Sandtown Monday. He had flyers printed up because they had. I sent it to you. They had a sketch because the guys accused of two things. But check this out. So, the Muslim brothers, when I got over there at 7:00, and Captain Andrew said Monday, if anybody that could come over to come over. But the Muslim brothers already around there. When I got there at 7, they were 6:30. They was already on the perimeter, checking the perimeters and all that kind of stuff. And I stayed there and greeted some students and all that kind of stuff. But these students and stuff is terrified, man, of things that's going on. But come to find out, Larry, because I talk to people, and come to find out, that's not the first time people are getting robbed around there. They got woods across the street from the school. They say the lighting's not good, and all that. You low on police security, and all that kind of stuff. And, I'm not hearing no, other than we are us, Captain Andrew and them, I'm not hearing no big, what I mean? All the people always talking about we got to stand up, this, that, and the other. You don't have to be number one in no organization to be a man to go out there and stand up for any woman. Let's just say that. And then my man Kenny Ebron, come to find out he was over there taping, talking about nobody out here. So he didn't even know that the Muslim brothers and them was put, checking the area and all that kind of stuff, looking for this guy. But he gonna set up a podcast. Nobody's out here. It's one police car blinking and all that kind of stuff. Well, why you ain't bring some people with you? I'm getting tired of these guys, man. You do not have to be in an organization to stand up for anybody, to go to a hearing, to go anywhere. Am I right, Larry?
You're right. You're right.
Because they calling each other organization. I don't want to hear that bull crap. You don't have to be in the organization. Just be a man. I'm done.
Whew. Wow, man. And most times, family, you don't hear it from nobody else but Mark, because, I read the papers every day. I look at television, all the stations I can, and I was unaware of those two incidents, sad as they are, and shameful as they are as well.
Yeah, I said you stuff.
I know you do.
Yeah, and Captain Andrews, he can't. He is so. I talked to him, man. Larry, there's so much going on, but they working with the governor. They're inside of these the youth facilities and all that, saving families through the Stop the Beef hotline, man, relocating, feeding people and all that kind of stuff. But he just couldn't join us today, but he's going to see if he can join us Monday.
Very good. Very good. Looking forward to the champion, Hero.
Yes,
Thank you, man. Thank you much. Thank you much. Wow. Okay. And if you want to join in, you certainly can. 877-545-6643. 877-545-6643. Well, I was noticing in the paper, they know how to catch things. The king arrives, but the queen departs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now,
What that mean, big brother?
well, that's what we're going to talk about. The queen,
Them Ravens. Them Ravens.
the four-time Pro Bowl back gives Ravens one of the NFL's most rushing duos. But at the same time, the 24-year-old inside linebacker joins the rival Steelers after his first Pro Bowl season. The queen is gone, and the king comes in.
Mm-hmm. Hey, check this out.
This is going to be a big discussion around town, folks.
Derrick Henry, though, look, Derrick Henry, Queen is going to hurt. I'm not going to lie. It's like losing Ray Lewis, but before he peaked. So that's why I'm looking at Queen. Queen was definitely a key part of the defense. But with that being said, listen, that Derrick Henry addition is just it made me just as happy as mad as I was for losing Queen. So it was like they put a big Band-Aid over that wound for me real fast. But yeah, Derrick Henry, look, we looking at this now. We got the best running back, one of the best running backs as far as, smash mouth, dominant old school style football. None of this, line him up and get tricky. I'm talking about hand him the ball. He's 260, 270 pounds. You know what I mean? Hand him the ball and watch the cloud of smoke, 3-4 yards in the cloud of smoke. So with that being said, with Lamar taking that ball off the option, you got to look at what the defense is going to face. They got him coming up the middle, and if they converge to the middle, then you got Lamar coming off the edge with it. So that one play alone, just that one play is going to add so much to the offense, and not even to mention what he's going to do. But Queen, yeah, I got to say Queen is going to hurt them. Queen, and then to go to the Steelers, and Geno, look, we got another one that went to a rival. Geno Smith was a good cornerback. He went to the Cincinnati Bengals. So to lose Geno and to lose Stone and Smith, it's like it hurts. But guess what? Like I say, Derrick Henry, get them tickets because we gonna win. We back deep in the playoffs again, deep off of that addition alone.
Well, the guy, I hate this, man. I am really getting some brain freezes here. Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Deion Sanders said we going to and I sent that to you too, man. He said we going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that combination. Look, that combination is deadly.
He said and I sent that article to you.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
He's sending out a warning, Big E, to the whole league.
Yeah.
He said because he's disappointed that running backs are becoming so undervalued.
Yeah.
And Biggie, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared of him.
Yeah, look
he
how
ran
big.
all over.
He looked like a linebacker. He's one of the biggest players on the field when he's on the field. When you see him compared to linebackers and stuff, he's as big as them, if not bigger. So you got to understand. And he moving. He ain't out there playing around. He's moving. He ain't playing running back just because he's big. He's moving with that girth. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, look. That combination right there is deadly. Like I'm saying, we was one game away from going to the Super Bowl. You add that type of caliber player to our offense, and you know what I mean? We on the road, man. That's real. So I'm definitely trying to go to as many games as possible this year. So look, let's go. Somebody, come on, Larry, come on. Somebody get these tickets.
I'm troubled by the Queen gone though. I wonder what that leaves us for our defense. Because they just signed a gentleman for a 4-year contract.
Matabika, yeah,
and that's good. Mm-hmm. But then we lose Queen.
Yeah, that was a pivotal piece.
And you could.
And Stone. And
there you go. That's right. That's another one, Mark.
I'm with you, bro.
That's another one.
I'm with you.
I don't have the high hype that Big E has on this, but because are you saying it equals out? I don't think it equals out.
It ain't going to equal out. Listen, we can't replace him. Like I said, I say it's like losing Ray Lewis. But with our mentality and the way we play, it's next man up, step up. And we always got players, in the waiting. If we might, free agency is not even over yet. We could get a good name that's already a solid linebacker to fill his position and then get a young boy that might take a year or two to get together. But listen, we got good people in the front office, and we're going to make moves, so. Don't count us out, especially just one player ain't gonna make or break us. He was pivotal. He was a big piece. I'm not going to downplay it at all. Like I'm saying, it hurts. My heart is bleeding, it's heavy, but we're gonna move on and we're gonna keep going. And that's how it works anyway. When you do well, the other teams they're gonna prey on your players. They'll overpay. Look, it's a bidding war at that point. Look, you want $20 million and I can offer you 25. It's a personal decision. You're gonna come back with the organization. You're gonna be loyal, or you're gonna go get the money in. You can't get mad at me for taking the money and, bettering my family. So trust me. Look, just come to these games this year. It is no drop off in us. And I'm going to say it now. Remember this. We ain't played the game yet. No drop off. We rolling. Let's go.
The fact that they're only paying him $16 million
for 2 years.
I thought I think are they trying to. That was a little low, I thought.
At running back, like Mark was saying, at running back, they always devalue it. That's the position where they got the lowest shelf life. Like at running back, literally 3 years, you probably out the league. If you good, you stay 5, 6, 7. That's when you get to your 30s. But 30-year-old as a running back, if he wasn't as physical a specimen as he is, and still dominant like he had the last season, he wouldn't even we wouldn't be worried about him. But 30 years, they look at that as almost retirement age for running backs. To be honest, 30 is like.
Our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Our bread and butter on the Ravens, and the reason that we didn't go to the Super Bowl is we got away from our running game.
Exactly. Yep.
Our defense. Our defense and our running game and our quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
that's our bread and butter.
Yeah. Look, we're gonna be in the running. Just put it like this, because with that style, listen, if we don't average 25 to 30 carries a game with Lamar and Derrick Henry, then I'm going straight to the coaches this year. We're gonna be on them this year early, because there's no way we're not running the ball. And we got a wide receivers in there, but listen, it's simple. Line them up and beat them. They can't stop Henry. Lamar's too fast and too much on the outside, and we just gonna line them up and beat them. We better. Yep.
Whatever happened to the receiver that
Odell?
Yeah,
He's still a free agent, but I don't know if we're gonna re-sign him. But he's still waiting on somebody, so it's possible that he can come back. That's what I'm putting it like that. He's sitting there waiting.
Did we sign somebody, Big E? Did we sign somebody?
Yeah, we re-signed. I know we got Henry. We re-signed. I think. Hold on. We re-signed. No, Aguilar. We re-signed Aguilar, and we re-signed the outside linebacker Malik Harris and Matabike so far. But we lost Gus Edwards. Let me bring a little breakdown. We lost Gus Edwards. We lost Geno Stone. We lost Devin Duvernay, wide receiver. We lost a cornerback, Ronald Darby. We lost left guard, John Simpson, a linebacker, Deshaun Phillips, and we lost, of course, Patrick Queen. So, like I say, still got a couple key free agents, Clowney, outside linebacker, Beckham, Dalvin Cook, couple running backs. But like I say, I trust an organization, and I know where we going. We ain't just Queen. We ain't dropping that far with the loss of Queen, because we got plug and play, and it's a system. Like you said, the system is built for us to win, and we gonna thrive. So, thank you for that segment, and you already know.
Wow. Okay. Oh, well, we got a couple of months to go.
Yes, sir.
Getting ready to get the baseball season underway. And so far, the Orioles are doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
They were running away for a bit, but the Yankees stopped them early in the week, and they lost like 3 of the 4 there. But it promises to be a pretty interesting season. I'm trying to get tickets for the opening day for the Orioles. First time I've even given it any thought in a couple of years. So a lot of people are looking good at the Orioles now.
I'm gonna start following a little bit more.
So, all right, we're going to pause. You stay tuned. Come right back to us. You want to give us a buzz, 877-545-6643, and we'll be right back with you. Just stay tuned.
Hey, what's up, everyone? You won't believe what we got going on in our STEAM program.
That's right. It's all about the future, baby. We're diving deep into the world of telecommunications.
And let me tell you, it's mind-blowing. Imagine connecting people across the globe, just like that.
I'm Ryan, and I want to be a telecommunications engineer. We're talking high-tech stuff, building networks, improving connections, making it all faster and better.
And I'm Marcus. I'm all about virtual reality. As a telecommunications software developer, I'll be creating mind-blowing experiences that'll leave you breathless.
And I'm Destiny, the telecommunications analyst. I'll be the tech detective, ensuring our communication is smooth, secure, and super slick.
It's like we're the superheroes of communication, right?
Absolutely. And with Forward, we're learning all the skills to make it happen.
So, if you want to be a part of this epic journey into the future, join us.
STEAM careers are where it's at, and we're here to make it happen. Visit theforwardproject.org and find out how to get your team involved. Powered by Verizon, National Action Network, Maryland Branch, the Arena Players Theater, and the Citizens. Bridging the digital divide.
Alrighty, welcome back. LY Morning Podcast Show. And wanted you to remember again about saving the date. Friday, April the 12th, the National Action Network 2024 National Conference in New York. I'm telling you, it is 3 days of the best of civil rights, human rights, and progressive thoughts. You want to be there, meet the folks from all over, Lade, and everybody, major folks. And they are better when you're there to hear from them and get a sense as to what the national issues are and how they're impacting our community. Make your way. And we're going to make it easy for you. All you have to do is make your registration to go on the bus with us, and we're going to be able to take you up for $30 round trip to New York City.
Can't beat it.
And that's, again, for Friday, April the 12th. And if you want to make your reservation, you just call 667-910-1027. That's 667-910-1027. And you'll be lined up and ready to go. Also, I want you to know that we're getting ready to start in a few days. We got 3 more shows left at the Arena Players, and the next one coming up is going to start April the 5th, and will run for every weekend in the month of April. And it's called Gem of the Ocean. It's an August Wilson's play, a drama. Gem of the Ocean, set in Pittsburgh in 1904, is the production that tells the story of the first generation of African Americans to emerge after the end of the Civil War and the death knell of slavery. Gem of the Ocean suggests that belonging to a strong community adds meaning and worth to a person's life. For Sully, community seems more important than his own existence. For example, after he escapes enslavement, he returns to the South to help free the people he cares about. Aunt Esther's character appears in this play as the embodiment of African wisdom and tradition. It is said that she arrived in America in 1619 and carries the history of black people. It's quite a drama. August Wilson, one of the best. And you can get your tickets to see that if you give me a call after 11:30, 667-910-1027. The first 10 will get you a pair of tickets to be our guests to see the production Gem of the Ocean. Again, the number to call, 667-910-1027 after 11:30. Also, and right after that, that's the April agenda. But come May, and I'm told that there's only going to be 3 weekends of it, but it's already got, I think of the 12 dates, at least 6 are going to be sold out and maybe more because it's only March. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the play, the musical, Soulmates, the music of Ashford and Simpson. Now that's a loving, soulful stage musical. A musical celebration that focuses on the composition of Nicholas Ashford and Valerie Simpson through a series of love letters. It is a flashback in sound of how this couple shared a life together as songwriters, well-renowned performance vocal duo, and husband and wife. From the days of Motown to Warner Brothers to Capitol Records, many of their hits that placed them in the Songwriters Hall of Fame will be performed. Nick and Val wrote the music that was recorded by Diana Ross, Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Chaka Khan, Whitney Houston, and Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell, and many others, conceived and directed by longtime Arena Players Tony Burton with musical direction of Tevin Brown. This soul-stirring production will transform you to a time and place as you are in the musical, historical venue, Painters Mills Music Fair. This musical will make you want to sing and dance from Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing to Solid as a Rock. All of that is going to be put together for the month of May at the Arena Players. And as you listen to the show, we'll let you know about those tickets. But don't wait for us to give out tickets. Go get your own tickets. I'm telling you, it's 12 dates where that production will be going forth, and they tell me that 6 of them are already sold out. So I'm giving you advance word weeks in advance. Okay? All right. It's time to make our way down the road, and we're going to do that. And when we get down the road, we pick up the fantastic public servant, the senator from the 40th District, Senator Antonio Hayes, into the final weeks of the Maryland General Assembly. Senator Hayes, good morning. Good to you, sir.
Good morning, Senator Young, and thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry I missed you last week.
Are you busy?
But I'm glad to join you today.
What you got for us today?
So literally, as we speak, the chair of the Budget Committee is presenting the operating budget before the Maryland Senate. Many of your audience members may have seen in the press lately, there's going to be some disagreement between where the Senate stands as it relates to the budget, whereas the House stands as it relates to the budget. And just to give some background, over the last couple of years, we've had historic surplus. The surplus was only temporary. It was caused because the Democratic Congress and our Democratic President, Joe Biden, put together a huge package of funding that was dispersed throughout the states. And so we had a lot more money to deal with than we did. When we had that money, what we've done, predicting that we wouldn't enjoy this influx of cash for so long, we tucked a lot of it away. Much of it we put in a rainy day fund. In good years, normally, if there's a good year, we have about 5% in a rainy day fund. This year, because of the money that we tucked away, we have 10%. We have double the amount we usually would have in a good year. And so we have a significant amount of funding in the rainy day fund. We put a significant amount of money into the Kirwan Commission blueprint for education to make sure that we could afford that in outgoing years. And so the Senate position is that, you know, we used our historic amount of funding in a prudent way, tucking away for a rainy day. And so there's no need to put any further burden on the citizens of Maryland by any tax increases. I think the House position is that in future years, we see the rising cost of transportation and the dwindling funds that we have in the Transportation Trust Fund. And so the position that the House has taken is, why kick the can down the road? Let's go ahead and increase revenues now, which means increasing taxes. And so I think at the end of the day, we'll debate it out and we'll see what comes in the end. But I am in agreement with leadership here in the Senate side. I think, many of our families, especially in parts of West Baltimore that I represent, are still struggling and recovering, from the pandemic and trying to make things whole. To put any greater burden on them as far as increasing taxes, especially after we have, millions and millions of dollars tucked away in a rainy day fund, just wouldn't be prudent and fair to the people that we represent. But over the next couple of weeks and the next 29 days, Senator, we will see which side prevails, right? I think we are open to a couple, minor tweaks. Like, I think during the Hogan administration, they reduced the amount of tolls, like when you go over the toll bridge. That has eroded our Transportation Trust Fund. We will probably bring those toll fees back up so we could recover from the losses that we've had over the couple of years to help fund transportation. Because the bottom line is the money that we're able to generate from tolls and other things around transportation, as long as we come up with a state match, the federal government is willing to match those things. And so we need to rebuild that. And so you'll see a couple of enhancement or fees and stuff raised. But I think the position of the Senate right now is we're just not in agreement right now with the House that we should be raising taxes at this time. But you'll see that play out over these next couple of weeks in the final days of session. The one thing that I did want to point out that I'm very proud of as it relates to West Baltimore, a couple of years ago, we created the West North Avenue Development Authority, working with Compton Heights CDC, Druid Heights CDC, and others, because of the long disinvestment that's happening around that West North Avenue corridor. In the first year, in 2021, we had a budget of $500,000. The second year, we had 1.5. Last year, the governor funded us at 11.4. This year, the governor has put $16.4 million in the budget to invest in West North Avenue, which is a significant amount of money to address the vacant housing, to attract businesses, and build up, around Coppin State University and Micah along that corridor. So I'm really, really excited about that and the impact that it'll have in communities all along that West North Avenue corridor.
For sure, man.
Indeed. And, we've seen over in East Baltimore through EBDI, Senator, the type of investment and how it could turn neighborhoods around and attract people back to Baltimore. I believe that West Baltimore is long overdue for an infusion of resources and investment. And hopefully with the commitment that we have on behalf of our governor, we can see the renaissance and see some of, the things that I hear, my aunts and uncles and others talk about, the glory days where we used to have Black-owned businesses and shops all along Pennsylvania and North Avenue. I'm yearning for the day that we see that, come back to fruition, where we have a bustling, not only economic base, but also have people living, working, and sleeping in West Baltimore and calling it home. Especially, I always like to say, Senator, and play on numbers, that I represent 50% of Baltimore City's HBCUs and Coppin State University. And so I think, using that as an anchor institution to motivate economic and community development in that West North Avenue corridor will be a significant boost. We've looked at places like, we've seen what has happened in Brooklyn and Harlem and parts of Philadelphia through gentrification. Having institutions that are embedded in the community like Coppin Heights CDC, that have, seen other places gentrify and seen Black folks be displaced, we've learned the lessons in trying to mitigate that and making sure that we revitalize, but mitigate whatever displacement that, those other places have experienced.
Whoa. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Mark C. Couple things. The Kerwin, we definitely got to talk about that, because everybody's for, increasing education, and we know it's been some problems with spending the money and all that. But the monies, the extra monies that the counties and the city and everybody have to kick in, like our mayor, 73 more million, I believe it was, or 73 total million. He said it was a gut punch, even though he said he's put historic money in there. But everybody's saying, cripple their economies if they have to put all this money. Have you guys recalculated how we can do this without hurting counties and the city and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, we've heard from many of the county executives and the leadership, and over the years before the blueprint was enacted, there was a significant amount of our county executives and members of the community that came to Annapolis and say, we really need to invest in education. One of the things that I learned as a young student and studying political science is that budgets is about priorities, right? And I believe, and I think many people believe, that, if we buckle down and really focus on education, a lot of the byproducts of not having a quality education, like crime and poverty and other things, would be eradicated. And so we've been, last year we've worked with some of our county executives, especially Baltimore City, to mitigate some of the impact that it may have on their budgets. But it's definitely a time, especially, with the ARPA money. What we've done with our ARPA money is set aside a large part of that to pay for it in advance, so we wouldn't have problems later on. I hope that the city has done the same thing. If you look at the Baltimore City public school system, the amount of ARPA funding, we talk a lot about the $640 million that the city got. The school system received an even larger amount than the city of Baltimore got altogether. And so I would just say, again, budgets is about priorities. If we're about educating our young people and providing opportunities for them to flourish and not be on the other side of the criminal justice system, we'll make the right decisions in the end.
All right. And also the when you were saying about the school system, and I'm aware of that they received all that money, and then you hear, and I was a teacher's aide for 3.5 years. You hear all of the them saying that they still haven't spent the money, this, that, and the other, and they might lose it. But why not talk to teachers and see what they need, and students, because I was over Connections the other day. Did you know that the lighting over there, where that young lady was sexually assaulted on the way to school, Rob had to pull her shirt up, pull her pants down for this clown. And I was over there the other day, and I was talking to people. They say the lighting is bad. We don't have school police, enough, and all that kind of stuff, and people being robbed and stuff all around there. So are we dealing with that type of stuff too?
Yeah, absolutely. So before there was a Connections, there was Lamel Middle School. So that's where I actually went to middle school. And traditionally, when students leave school, it's usually broad daylight. They're not leaving at hours where there's street lighting needed. But what we are doing is working with MTA. When I went to school at Lamel, we used to have a bank of MTA buses that lined up right outside of the school that transported people directly to Mondawmin. When those buses left, even back in my day when I went to Lamel there, students were forced to walk down the hill where there isn't any lighting or other things. Or what we used to do is go through the train tracks, and there's a cut through that leads you through the Tioga community over to Mondawmin. So, but what we want to do, what we've been having discussions over the last couple of days since this incident is, one, making sure that Baltimore City Police Department is, aware and stepping up their efforts. We're also reaching out to Coppin State University and their police department to make sure that they can lend a hand. Various community members have stepped up. We're calling on our administrators as well. But also, if we could have those buses available to students and transport them over to Mondawmin so they don't have to walk down that hill, which there's not a lot of eyes on that hill or those train tracks over there to avoid those situations. And so, we're definitely paying close attention to it. Some of these issues go back to the days when I was in middle school, but it's a sad day when our young people that are in middle school, that are trying to get their education, going to school, are falling victim to grown. I'm sorry, I almost cursed, but grown
that's how I curse.
Or individuals that are coming after our young people and being predators. It's a problem.
For sure.
It is.
For sure. In the news, sir, there's talk that in Annapolis, quote unquote, talk may be bold, but action thus far is not. That's the assessment of one of the editorials of The Sun. From everything I've been reading and hearing, it seems like you're progressing pretty much. You're going to have your battles. That's part of the legislative process. But to say, but action thus far is not.
Yeah, I saw that article too, Senator, and I think what they're alluding to is, both the governor and the legislature has committed to, redoing things like the red line, right? And I think the commitment is still there. The bottom line is, right now we're in the middle of a presidential election, and we've had a, good working relationship with the current administration in the White House and bringing, historic funding. The only reason why we had a surplus in the city and in the state was due to federal money that Biden and the Democratic Congress put through. If, for whatever reason, we have a different outcome in the election and Trump is then the president all over again, the amount we will not have the ally that we have now in President Biden to provide the federal funding. The state can put a significant amount of money towards transportation and funding the red line and all that other stuff. We could, generate revenue to do it. But if we don't have an ally in the White House that shares our values and making sure that we uplift, public transportation. So I get what the article is saying, in that, we may not be putting a whole lot of money into transportation, but a lot of that is dependent on, do we have the federal partners that will partner with us in seeing things like that through? And right now, until this election has concluded, we don't know what those results may be.
Uh-huh. Okay. Wow. Yes, sir. Well, we got a few more weeks to go yet, sir. So we'll be counting on you to make your turn this way again this week, a week from today. And thank you. Also want you to know that if something comes up, you don't have to wait till Wednesday. We're now available 4 to 5 every day on WOLB 1010 AM. So if you find an issue that you want to bring to us, by all means, give us a buzz. 4 to 5,
Indeed.
Monday through Friday, from here on out for quite some time to come. Senator from the 40th District, Senator Antonio Hayes, thank you, good sir. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you for always having me on and talking to your audience. I look forward to further conversations. I just want to remind people, that especially if you live in the 40th District, to go to our website, www.antoniohayes.com. We have scholarships applications now available for young people who are seeking higher education opportunities. So please apply to our scholarships. And thank you to everybody. We had more than 200 people show up to our district night this year. We had awesome young people from Booker T. Washington perform. We had a DJ. People was line dancing. So thank you for everybody that came out this year. Appreciate it.
We heard. Thank you, Senator. Thank you so very much. Antonio Hayes of the 40th Legislative District on board with our legislative update. We're going to give a little pause here. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned. And I've got a special salute that we want to lift up for Miss Maybelle.
Hey, what's up, everyone? You won't believe what we got going on in our STEAM program.
That's right. It's all about the future, baby. We're diving deep into the world of telecommunications.
And let me tell you, it's mind-blowing. Imagine connecting people across the globe just like that.
I'm Ryan, and I want to be a telecommunications engineer. We're talking high-tech stuff, building networks, improving connections, making it all faster and better.
And I'm Marcus. I'm all about virtual reality. As a telecommunications software developer, I'll be creating mind-blowing experiences that'll leave you breathless.
And I'm Destiny, the telecommunications analyst. I'll be the tech detective, ensuring our communication is smooth, secure, and super slick.
It's like we're the superheroes of communication, right?
Absolutely. And with Forward, we're learning all the skills to make it happen.
So, if you want to be a part of this epic journey into the future, join us.
STEAM careers are where it's at, and we're here to make it happen. Visit theforwardproject.org and find out how to get your team involved. Powered by Verizon, National Action Network, Maryland Branch, the Arena Players Theater, and the Citizens, bridging the digital divide.
Lord, you are the highest authority. Lord, when I seek to rule over myself, may I always be mindful that you are the ultimate authority and all must bow to thee. And therefore, I fret not about what humans seek to do to me, for all must be accountable to thee. There are places that humans call high. There are persons whom humans call boss. Lord, thanks for giving me the consciousness that no place is high unless you're there. No person shall reign over me. I work because I work for thee. I obey because I am obeying thee. You're my only authority, and to you only do I surrender all. Lord, teach me to respect all of your creatures and extend to them love that you have placed within me. Help me to recognize the rules and the regulations of society in order that my conduct may not be disruptive when justice is being done. Yet, let me reject unfairness and be willing to work to ratify the situation. Amen.
He carries me over mountains. He comforts me through the valley low. When I'm going through the storm, I'm protected in His arms. Oh, my Father loved me. That's why I say, the Lord is my.
Welcome back. This is the Larry Young Morning Podcast Show, and you can reach us. 877-545-6643. Biggie, you had an issue or two you wanted to discuss with Mark?
I just want to know, hey, Mark, did you hear about the, I know you be hearing a lot and you keep your ear to the street like he say, but you heard about the dude in Cherry Hill that was fighting and they shot him and then he rode to the hospital. When he got out the car, they shot him again in the hospital parking lot. You heard about that one?
Yeah, and we got a niece work over there, and matter of fact, we was in Cherry Hill yesterday for the repast for our nephew that passed away, and we were talking to the community. Now, listen to this, Larry, Big E. Okay, they fighting over on Carver Road. Okay, so I don't know if they jumped the guy or whatever, but the guy had to go to Harbor Hospital to get medical help. Now, they followed the guy to the hospital, got out the car in the parking lot and shot him while he was in the car. They wasn't satisfied. This is where we at.
That's what I'm saying. The lawlessness right there just lets you know. And the thing about it, to make it even worse, he was already shot before he, when he was riding, because they shot him the first time. So that wasn't good enough. So, and then you're not even scared of being caught that you shoot him. You follow him all the way around, so you ain't worried about the police at this point. This is what I'm saying. It's just like, it's okay corral out here. Because anytime you shot him and then you went to try to finish the job, basically like, okay, he rode off to the hospital. We got to finish the job. It's like, yeah, we got to change it. Something got to be done. Something got to be done around here because that right there should scare you. Like, now you get shot and you trying to save your own life, and they gonna follow you and finish you. So yeah, we gotta do better with that one, man.
And that's
Gotta do
where
better
we
with
at.
Yep.
That's where we at. I mean, the boldness and stuff like that. We down 700 off.
Yep.
And like PM Smith was saying this morning, who wants the job? You know, who wants the job right now? You know, the morale is down. You know, under you know, when this mayor was, I think, city council president or whatever, they defunded the police, $22 million. You know, and on and on and on. And the blatantness, Larry. Yesterday, when you know. The repass, you know, they out there they have chairs. They set chairs up now. They'll have chairs out there selling drugs off of the chairs. They be sitting out there.
That's what I'm about to say too. Look, this stuff.
Back
The whole.
in the day,
My
when
fault,
we
Mark.
grew up, when we grew up, when I was in caught up in addiction, me and my brother-in-law was talking about that. We both in recovery. You didn't wanna, you know, the drug dealers didn't wanna, you know, they didn't want a whole lot of fanfare. These guys, these young guys are not making money. Will kill you in a second. You know.
Think about it.
And that's where we at, man. It's absolutely.
It's lawlessness. Look, the thing I'm about to say, Mark, real fast. The thing I'm saying is like this. Think about this. Why are they allowed? Why is everybody allowed to just hang around and lauder and do all this type of stuff? What are the police getting paid to do? Because first and foremost, everybody walking around with all these illegal guns is because the police ain't doing their job. Nobody's stopping and frisking. Like, I ain't saying harassing people because I done been harassed and stuff like that. If you mind your business and you ain't doing it, but if you standing out there on this corner all day long and they see you there and you said it and you every day you there, when are they gonna get to the point of starting to frisk them, stop them, harass? Like, you gotta harass them type of people. Don't harass somebody trying to make it to work and driving through and you see him in that car and you want to drive him, pull him over because he's a black young dude. Pull the dudes over that standing out there with guns on them and drugs on them, and y'all letting them just sit around and no harass, no nothing to them, and they harassing the community and everything like that. Y'all sit back and let him walk right by him like you don't know that he's coming on this corner every single day, and you see him every single day, and you know him by face, and you know what he's doing, but what was done about it until he shoots somebody, and now it's too late, and then y'all still don't do nothing about that. So the system is flawed, man, and like I said, the leaders at the top, we got to do something about it. Gotcha.
We absolutely, and let's say this, we are.
Yesterday,
I'm going to reach back out to the commissioner, but things are starting to get a little better with the state's attorney, with the citation docket, and that's very important.
Gotta charge them kids, man.
Addiction, and I used to do stuff, and what that will do, Larry and Big E, with that docket, and the reason that the state's attorney is so upset, and that we got to go back to Monzi too. He had reached out to Monzi because Monzi had got $50 million, Larry, or something, to institute programs to help young people and stuff like that. They reached out to them for their services, Big E, and they had to put them on blast on the news because they hadn't heard nothing back. Then they come out, make all these excuses, but what that does, that docket, is it intervenes for people to get help. Because if you don't intervene with people that's breaking the law, whether it's addiction, whether it's stealing or whatever,
it's going to continue.
It's not going to stop.
It's going to continue, yeah. Yep.
And Antonio Hayes, Larry, he was on, good. Let's, revitalize West Baltimore and all that kind of stuff. And definitely let's not have North Avenue a one way. But Larry, I was over there. I was over there on Pennsylvania Avenue Monday. And we was right there. And the guys was out there, a couple police out there. But Big E, he talking about businesses. There's a lot of black-owned businesses. But they can't operate because a lot of the young guys out there doing whatever in one business, guys. And I guess because we was all out there, us and Captain Andrew, we had Brother Lynn taking people to treatment. It was like 10 of them up in this Chinese joint, man.
Look, they standing right there. And the thing about it, I'm going to tell you one thing. Just know for certain.
Like 10 of them, Larry.
One thing for certain, one thing for sure. They stand out there with the gun on them, and the police know it. And yeah, all these crimes and all these shootings ain't happening for nothing. They ain't running to get the gun. The gun is sitting right there on them. So just move differently, move safe. Don't get into the unnecessary arguments, and just you got to move different in the city. But yeah, they sitting right there at the store with the police, with the drugs and the gun. So it's like I said, they got to get them people. They got to get them people at the top that ain't doing nothing, ain't doing the right stuff.
I'm sure that you're making a good, strong point, partner. I'm just a little bit nervous about how do a police deal with a person, even though, listen, we were just talking yesterday about why is it downtown on Utah Street,
crazy.
Going down, people are saying they don't want to come downtown, they don't want to shop in the Lexington Market, which is a daggone shame. It's a beautiful place. You should want to be in. But on the Utah Street side, people are just saying they're not comfortable. You go into the Packer Street side, all of us, you got it. Everything seems to be cleared and approachable. But we're going to take a little quick pause here, and then we're going to come back, and I want to lift up my good friend, my sister, and share more information with you about. Then I want to thank Brother Kenny Ebon, who sent me something that I remembered that I had kept. But we're going to deal with that. Just give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Larry, I just wanted to call in and say how proud and glad we are, as always, that you have a platform that you've used through the decades and made a difference for all of us, that has made our community stronger and the nation even better. So I'm glad that you are back on doing Drive Time.
Our leader. Oh,
man.
Welcome home, sir. Welcome home.
I'm just as happy to be back in Drive Time, and I want to thank you.
Well, Larry, my friend, it is great to have you back on the show, and I did want to be one of the first to welcome you back.
Larry, it's so good to hear you back on air. You fill such a need out in the community. You have done that your entire career.
Very well, thank you very much. How about that? Al Sharpton, Westmore, the governor, Ben Cardin, and Van Hollen, Kip Van Hollen, our United States Senators. They tune in and listen in, as you do, and we welcome them to do just that. Thank you very much. It's been a couple of days, and today will be the wake for Miss Maybelle, Pamela Leak, and let me share this special selection with you.
I still see you in the places we would go, like your face is painted on the walls. I've been trying to forget all the moments that we spent, 'cause now I do it on my own. Oh, you and I were like this summer, but now it's winter here on my own. If I would've known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would've made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would've given anything to say goodbye. If I would've known, if I would've known, oh, I remember how we would laugh all the time, but now you're not around, and I'm just trying to find something else to fill the empty spaces you left behind. But nothing ever seems to work. I've been thinking about the things that you used to say, even not around. You're in my head every day, but it's fine, I don't mind. I promise I'll be okay. If I would've known
If I had known
that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would've made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would've given anything to say goodbye.
to say goodbye.
If I would've known, if I would've known,
Would have known. Wow. Yes. If I would have known. The WIC services will be today, 3 to 7. It's going to be at the House of Prayer for All People on Liberty Heights. That's today. The funeral services will be tomorrow, Thursday, at the House of Prayer for All People on Liberty Heights for Miss Maybell. If I would have known. It's been rough, family, I got to tell you. She was my sister. And there was a thought that is it possible that you can have a woman, a lady, be your best friend? That's not, no, she was there for me. As a sister would be for a brother. And every stretch through my good times and my bad, my hospitalizations, last 3 times in which I have since really the heart attack, the aneurysm, and the amputation. When I woke up, she was there. And as I've struggled through these 21 months, and things were difficult for me to find ways and means to adjust. Savings dwindling. My sister was always there. We'll miss her. The Baltimore community and greater community. We had a show on WLB this past Monday where some of the finest comedians in our city came together, and we gave her a special salute during the portion of the show that we considered Morning with Miss Maybell. And they did a wonderful job, those comedians, all 4 of them. This coming Monday, we're going to invite the disc jockeys who went with her as she went about doing what she does in various venues around the city and the community. And we're also going to announce that there's going to be 1 or 2 things that we're going to continue in her memory that'll be shared with you on Monday. So, Miss Maybell, homegoing services tomorrow, Thursday, House of Prayer. And I think I'm right, the wake is 10:30, the funeral is 11:30. And under the direction of Carlton Douglas Funeral Services. And there will be a Friday repast celebration of life for her at the Patapsco Arena on Friday from 6 p.m. to 11. That's being coordinated, as I best understand it, by T-Shirt Brian and many others teaming up to put this together. So, there you go. Today, go by, and this should be again wake. That's from 3 to 7 today at the House of Prayer, right there on Liberty Heights. Tomorrow's the funeral, 10:30 to 11:30 the funeral service. And then Friday, from 6 to 11, there'll be a celebration of life. And you're welcome.
would have known, if I would have known, oh, I remember how we would laugh all the time, but now you're not around, and I'm just trying to find something else to fill the empty spaces you left behind. But nothing ever seems to work. I've been thinking about the things that you used to say, even not around. You're in my head every day, but it's fine, I don't mind. I promise I'll be okay. If I would've known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would've made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would have given anything to say goodbye. If I would have known, if I would have known,
Whoa. Big E, you know, she sort of came to you and counted on you every Monday whenever she would have her guests in.
That was my
and
girl.
you were her cameraman for when she would walk them over to the Hall of Fame picture.
Look, if you know her, you loved her. That was a nice lady, a sweet lady, and she was real. She did what she said. And every time that I, been around her, it was no fake, no phony, straight by the book. And I mean, that's you got what you got from her. You know what I mean? Miss Maybell was one of a kind. You know what I mean? She definitely gonna be missed. My time that I know her, I can tell. I don't really like to deal with the fake and the phony. And she definitely was as real as they come. So that's why I'm leaving it as that. She's real as they come.
Mark?
Yeah, man. She always got a kick out of me teasing you and her about being married.
yeah.
And all that.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
It just makes you think, man. You gotta, people are just leaving here, and as you was doing that, like I could see on your face, to get memories. And I was just thinking, Sharon just took a picture with her when she won the award.
Mm-hmm. We got some right here. Looking at some right here.
And Mark, we were fortunate that her last award that was given to her by us at the National Action Network, and she was given the Honor Roll Award for her community caring and sharing. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And my godmother.
Yeah, that touched me. Helen Dale was
Helen Dale came in with roses and said, "Give people their roses while they yet live."
Yes, she
for
said
you
that.
know not.
Yeah, that speech she gave right there, she got to look. That one hit real close to home, and it really resonated when that happened right afterwards, because she was literally holding her in her arms, and she was like holding her while she was telling her, giving her flowers, literally giving her flowers, holding her arm, and then less than a week later, that happened. So. Just like you say, you really got to love on your people, man. You can't let the small stuff go, and let's live, man. Let's live as long as we got.
We're gonna
do named after her and stuff like that.
Yep.
But Larry, we cannot go off the air, man, because we can't go off the air because you'll get like 115 texts if we go off the air and we don't clear a couple things up.
All right.
When we were talking about the lawlessness going on in our city, nobody was saying, that we got to go back, go to busting heads and all that. We nobody's saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop and Frisk. Let's make this 100% clear. Stop and Frisk went out with Martin O'Malley. When Sheila came in, it turned completely around to community and community policing and resources, which we aiming towards right now. She worked with Brother Bay on addiction, Big E. She worked with Dr. Bunley, who's one of the founders of We Are Us and an educator. She worked with him, and she had everybody at the table, department heads and all that. So, and the Gun Trace Task Force was 6 brothers, Larry and Big E, young brothers that could have been helping these young people instead of robbing people and whatever else they was doing, and they got caught, and they caught these guys, Big E, that thought that they could just be so bold as to go and try to kill this man after he was attacked and went to the hospital. They got them too, Larry.
Mm-hmm.
They got them.
I'm glad about that too. The whole stop and frisk though. How you feel about it,
Clear
Mark?
that up.
How you feel about it?
Because whenever you say stop and frisk, Big E, everybody will start playing politics. And ain't nobody going to play politics with my life because I don't feel safe in this city. And my 8 children life and our 8 grandchildren life. Ain't nobody going to play politics on my watch with their life.
That's what I'm saying. So you think that's a good thing? You were saying you think they should bring it back? Because I'm for it. Because listen, if you ain't carrying around that illegal gun, so you
no.
So how they gonna get the guns off of them?
Not in that form. Big E, it has to be a mixture of things, and that's why you need somebody in office that know how to pull. Everybody has to work together, Big E, because now we have organizations that's working with these young people. It's not the same as it was, but you have organizations that's working with these young people, so you want both. And that's why I brought up the state's attorney in Monsey. This is huge, Larry. Monsey is the agency, the city agency that gets funding, $50 million or whatever, to have resources, alternatives for these young people. And also the state's attorney's office reached out to the police department because they wanted to train them on the handout the citations. So they had to actually put them on blast, Monsey and the police, before they decided to take up the state's attorney on the training on the citation docket. And also Monsey, now they saying that they responded to them because that's what we want. We want alternatives, and we got everything in place. It's just not being utilized on Big E.
Yeah, what I'm about to say real fast to that, on a stop and frisk note, because I understand what you're saying too, but I'm just saying like this. Look, how you gonna get these illegal guns off the people that's loitering and standing out in the streets that's doing the shootings? Because I know people that personally myself that's carrying a gun and walk with 2 guns on them and they sell drugs with the police sitting right there, and it's like, what are they gonna do about it? Because at the end of the day, if you're not carrying illegal guns and illegal drugs on you, a stop and frisk ain't gonna situate you. We gotta get back to something. It's lawlessness right now. Like I understand, I've been harassed. I've been personally pulled over driving by black, driving because I'm young, got a hat on, okay, 20s, whatever. But if you don't have a legal gun or illegal drugs in your car, then you good to go. I mean, as you can see, marijuana is pretty much legal now, so that ain't the big issue. They ain't gonna pull you over and lock you up because you got some weed on you or something. So it's like I'm talking about the dudes that's standing out there with a book bag and a gun in their book bag while the police is 2 feet away from them. You know what I mean? Like we got to get to the point where they can't be as comfortable as to be walking around with guns on them. It's just comfort. Like they carrying a gun like they the police, and it's no fear because nobody gonna harass me. They don't pull me over. They don't randomly check me. They don't do nothing. They walk right by us and let's do it. It's just I'm just trying to find a middle point. I understand. Trust me. I'm one of the first people that will be harassed if they do the search and frisk. But I'm not walking around with a legal gun on me. You know, I'm one of the first people they're gonna pull over. They see me driving. Oh yeah. Big black dude with a hat on. Let's get him. Beard with a hat. You know what I mean? So I know I fit the description, but if you're not breaking the law, you don't have to worry about it. But I know it's dudes sitting out there literally with the guns on them next to the police.
I got you.
But Mark,
I think it's a different time.
Mark, I just want to add that on this one here, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that.
How you gonna get the guns off then? Just
I know.
What's your solution? Y'all with me? Y'all with them? But what's the solution?
I'm trying to find a way.
Get the guns out the street.
We can't go back to the Martin O'Malley days of frisk.
No.
I mean, how much? 50 to 100,000 men were stopped at one point during that time. We can't do that. But at the same time, Mark.
Gotta be some solution.
What Biggie is talking about.
Get the guns out the street.
People are beginning to lean and think like Biggie is sharing.
I call it real. So if you ain't worried about it, if you ain't got a gun on you,
I don't want that to be the case. So at this point, what are we going to do?
Yeah, what's the solution? Let's get a solution. What's the solution? What do we do?
Yeah. So
how do we get these guns off of them?
What we do is we got to have somebody because we got 17 different police agencies, we 600 officers down. And what we do in Big E, we was all frustrated when we saw that, when the police was just sitting there and took a knee and all that kind of stuff. But we think now that things are going to start getting better as far as containing some of this lawlessness. Big E, I think it already is, So I understand exactly what you're saying, and I feel the exact same way. We got to do something about this lawlessness
It's just the threat that you can get pulled over. The threat that you can get pulled over.
It's a combination of police and resources,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where we're headed towards, Larry.
And the police got to do their jobs. Like I said, he sit right there with the dudes with the guns. So
I agree with you 100%, 100%. And I think we're going to make some changes, and I think the changes are going to be for the better politically and citywide.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I understand when you said I'm getting some word, so I want to make it very clear. What Mark is saying, there's a sense in the community growing around where Mark is saying what he's hearing, and I hear more of it than I want to hear. But I do know this: I cannot and we cannot let us go back to the Martin O'Malley days. But we've got to find a way to adjust and make these adjustments and make them quick and sincere and thorough. And
I think if y'all realize how many illegal guns is really on the streets, if you hear these crimes, you just don't realize. You walk down the street, more than probably half of the people that you see, half of them young boys got guns on them. You don't know it because y'all not dealing with them. Y'all not right there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're not interacting with them. But I'm telling you, more than pick one, skip one, pick one, skip one. It's a gun on them. So when they happen, they're not going far. They're not running in the house to get it. That's why it's so crazy. But like I say, look, we all on the same page. I'm trying to get to a solution. I don't look.
We on the same page.
We all on the same page. I just know. Look, I just want to have them listen. Yeah, I just want them to have the threat of, you know what I mean, not being so comfortable with as though they walking around like they got a conceal and carry permit and you never get searched, never get look, smoking weed in front. You do whatever you want, and it's no consequence. That's why it got to the OK Corral, because listen, I can carry my gun right on me. I ain't got to do nothing. You talk to me, act crazy. Guess what's gonna happen to you? Wow. It ain't no thinking about it. Hot-headed, dumb, don't got, no education. Just shoot you for stupid stuff. Look, something real petty, something that a man would talk about. You know what I mean? But, you got the gun, you young, you dumb. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to tell you, I'm just trying to open the eyes. I'm telling you, it's a lot. It's more than what you know. The little dudes, 5-foot guns on them. Yeah, it's on them.
That's right, Larry.
It's on them. Right. So we got to do something.
I hear you loud and clear. I hear you, and we got closing minutes here. Again, I want to remind you, because I do want you to join us. I don't know where else you're going to be able to get on a bus and go to New York for $30 round trip, and at the same time arrive at a conference that is going to be a major conference, major impact. You'll come back with great ideas and join up with us to do what we do at our NAN chapter and make things progress. We're already talking now with a very fine gentleman down in Anne Arundel County. We're getting ready to establish a strong chapter there. We already got things going in Charleston, Calvert, and Prince George's, and Hartford. And so we're making some movement. But I want you to make a call so that you can come and join with us to go to New York on Friday, April the 12th. Save the date, but make your bus reservation right now, 667-910-1027. That's 667-910-1027. And you can join with us on the trip to New York. Leave early morning, arrive late, 18 hours. But I'm telling you, in between there, you will say to yourself, let me sign up for 2025 session, because it's going to be that kind of major impact on you. All right. Okay. Don't forget this afternoon, 4 o'clock. Well, it's the early evening, 4 o'clock. Larry Young in conversation with LY. We're on WOLB 1010 AM from 4 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can hear us on WOLB 1010, 4 to 5. And Larry Young, and I'm joined by the coach and Ray Davis. Yep. Thank you so very much, family, for listening in. And I appreciate you so very much. And I'll catch you if you're on the podcast only, which you shouldn't be. But if you are, catch us next Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock. And in the meantime, Sean, thank you, Big E, Mark, and family. Peace and blessings to you. Hope to hear from you this evening from 4 to 5 on In Conversation with LY. Peace.
Rest in peace, Mr. Maybell.
Take care. Be safe.
God of love and dignity, we bow before you with grateful and believing hearts. We're glad that with all of the power of the universe at your disposal, with the bounty of all that is at your magnificent hand, you yet find room in your heart for each one of us. We give you praise because your love and grace are far beyond any and all things we can imagine. We lift our heads and hearts to you this day simply because you're God and there is no other. At times we live differently. Sometimes we behave as if there are other gods, other allegiances, more important, other relationships worthy of our time and attention. We must confess that we are too often seduced, driven by the trappings of this world. We fail to give you proper glory. We fail to give you proper credence in our lives. We fall to the allure and glamour of the world, tumbling to the shame of sin. And it hurts us. It breaks me. We find that we fall far short of all that you would have us be and do. Still, by your miraculous capacity to forgive, you call us back to your fold. God, you never give up on us, and we're so grateful. You refuse to leave us. You reject notions of abandoning us. No matter what we have done, you always remind us that we are always more than the sum total of our actions before you. We thank you for this unbelievable, unimaginable, yet undeniable love. It is in this Thanksgiving that we dare to ask you for our needs. Some of us need healing. Some of us need strength. Some of us need hope. So many are our needs, our desires, our dreams. But more than any of these things is our hunger to do your will, to live in your will, to be as your Son taught us to be. Strengthen us to truly seek your face, to live in your hope, to demonstrate your love. Then we can truly be called your witnesses and your people. Then we can truly be heralds of your kingdom. This is our hope and our belonging. We lift this prayer in the mighty, majestic, and masterful name of Jesus the Christ. Amen.
The winds and the waves. Let's go. Shall obey your will.